In this tutorial, we will show you how you can study and or teach all these concepts in Mapping Tonal Harmony Pro 6. We will also use this tutorial to show you how the app works in audio mode. In this mode, you can listen to real audio recordings while viewing the harmonic analysis. The only prerequisite is that the song you're reviewing or analyzing has to be local. In other words, you must own the song either by having purchased it from the iTunes store or imported it from a CD you own. I will be using the Aria from the Goldberg Variations recorded by Glenn Gould. If you do not own this track, you can access the iTunes store from within the app using this button here and purchase the song. Okay, let's listen. I will explain how to study harmonic analysis for students, and also the analysis creation process for advanced students and teachers. So, if you are a beginner student, don't worry too much about the creation process since you will have access to all the online audio progressions. But if you want to give it a try, I promise you will learn many times more by attempting to create an analysis. So, I have erased all chords and we will start from scratch. This gray bar here represents the entire song, which you can use to quickly listen to different sections of the song by just tapping on it. If you'd rather see the waveform representation, you may enable it here. That's better. Please notice that longer audio files might take a few seconds to read and draw the entire waveform. I will choose a section of a piece to analyze. You may of course analyze the entire piece, but for the purpose of this video, a section of the piece will suffice. To the right, you will find the piano score where I have analyzed the section I will be entering in Mapping Tonal Harmony, in this case just by using chord symbols. You may use functions if you wish. The piece is clearly in G major. So the first step is to set the audio track's original key. Select the first chord in the progression and tap on the modulation button. And choose the key. Now let's enter the chords by sliding the finger on the chords from the map. The next chord is D with F sharp on the bass. So that's D in first inversion for 6/5. As you can see, the inversions panel includes all possible inversions. The first inversion is a triangle since the bass is the third. Second inversion is a pentagon since the bass is the fifth, and so on. So select the inversion by tapping and then insert the corresponding chord. So D in this case. Okay, next chord is an E minor. Now that's the 6th minor, but in G it is also the 2 of 5, a secondary dominant. There. This is a perfect example where you learn and reinforce concepts just by creating an analysis. Should I use the or the 2 of 5? Well, that depends on whether your analysis is based on what the listener is hearing right now or based on what the listener will hear later on. I like to analyze trying to read the composer's mind, his intention or plan. Both functions are represented exactly by the same chord, so without knowing what's coming next, it is impossible to say. But we know what's next. And it's an A7, which is the 5 of 5. I will analyze this E minor as the 2 of 5. So, 2 of 5, 5, 6, 5, or first inversion, of 5, 5, D over C, or 5-4-2. G over B. G7 is the 5 of 4. A minor 7 over C. Here's a common technique used by Bach. Instead of going to the 4 from the 5 of 4, as expected, he goes to the 2 minor in first inversion. They are practically the same function, as you can see by their location on the map, and the root still moves by a perfect fifth, which is such a strong bass line. Okay, here's a cadence, 5-1, and Bach is using a tonic pedal point that clearly indicates the end of a phrase. Here's another example where the analysis depends on whether you want to express what's being heard or what the intention is. The E minor over G is the 2 of 5, but this is a new section and Bach will not resolve to a G chord for the duration of the next section. I will then analyze this as a common tone modulation. Will the listener hear this as such? Of course not, but I think Bach is clearly preparing a modulation to the 5. So, in order to insert a modulation, just add the function in the correct key, using the correct inversion, to the progression, and then tap on the modulation button here. The keyboard panel will automatically open so you can select the new key. In this case, it's D. Mapping tonal harmony then finds all functions with the same root and chord scale for common chord modulation, and also includes functions with the same root for common tone modulation. If there are no common chords or tones, it will decide it is a direct modulation. So, there are all the available E chords in the key of D. Bach is using this 2 minor. So just slide your finger on the E minor and the modulation is inserted. Now you can see the double function for the E minor. It is a 2 of 5 in G and a 2 in D. Notice that the map is now in D. A7, D is the 1 now, 2, 5, 1 first inversion, the 5-7 of 4. Here he uses the same technique as before, resolving deceptively to the 2 in first inversion instead of the 4. 5-7. Okay, here comes another pedal point, this time a dominant pedal point that starts as a 1-6-4. Bach is preparing the end of a phrase again, and the end of the section this time. So, we're done analyzing. In the process, we've discovered quite a few interesting things and techniques used by Bach. Also, we've been listening to all of these functions being played using the correct inversions and nice voice leading from one function to another while viewing the relationship between them on a landscape. I can't emphasize enough the importance of having this kind of interactivity with the material we are trying to learn. Okay, let's sync it with the audio track, which is a very simple process. Choose the starting point in the audio track. In this case, it is the beginning of the track, so I will not change it. Now the end. I will place it around there. And listen. The app starts playing a few seconds before. Right there. Okay, I will let the audio play for a few seconds more after our analysis is done. Now let's insert the audio markers. To start recording markers, we use the conductors button, which shows as step 3. Now press the record button and it will give you 5 seconds of pre-roll before your previously selected starting point. When the audio starts playing, just tap on any of the add marker buttons located on either side of the screen at the right moment where the audio plays the next function. G, D over F sharp, E minor, A7, D, I am looking at my score while doing this and listening to the track. Done. Save it. Turn off edit mode. Play. All synced. Filter non-used chords. Enable paths. There's the modulation to D. There's the 5 of 4, resolving to the 2 in first inversion. Okay, let's study a bit more. I am filtering paths to see only 3 at a time. That's a nice cadence. Mapping tonal harmony plays it using nice voice leading. There, another one by Bach. 5, 5, 4, 2, 1. I'll enable the bass detector. So that creates a nice descending bass line as well. Key change. Okay, let's study this common chord modulation. The green line shows us the path to the target in the new key. We start in G, which goes to E minor 7, which is going to be reinterpreted as the 2 in D major. There it is. The E minor, or 2 of 5, is here in G, but is going to be there in D. That progression creates a pedal point. The 2 of 4 to 2 again. The cadential 6/4 at the end of the section. This is Bach 100% and the beginning of the classical period. 1, 6, 4, 2, 5, 1. Great. Let's listen to the entire section once more, now from a new perspective. miss our other tutorials. Mapping Tonal Harmony Pro is available for iPad, Mac, Windows, and Android. Visit mdex.com for more information. Thanks for watching.